Hello, everyone. This is Allegedly Caleb, and we are back with another episode of Panzer Campaigns France 40. In the last episode, we continued our attack as the Germans. It has not been going super well. The plan has not been happening according to how I planned it, but we'll see. I'm going to show us this allied replay, and we'll see what happens. So, if you haven't watched any of the other episodes, I definitely encourage you to go and watch those. There's a playlist on my channel with all the episodes. Anyway, in the first episode, I laid out my plan a little bit. So we need to capture at least one of these objectives to get a minor victory, I believe. I'll double check that. My goal was to go after this one right here because his men there stationed in that area were his weakest. He had a couple regiments of level D troops, morale level D, which is lower. I think it's the lowest quality on the field. On average, everyone's at C. And he's got one or two regiments of D level units. So that was one of the areas they were concentrated in. And I thought, oh, no biggie, they're in forest. That was a mistake. Our advance here has been very low. Although I did like that he was in forest here because his tanks would not be able to operate very well there. He has a lot of tanks. We don't have any tanks. All of our men are infantry. And then we do have a lot of artillery. We definitely have at least a minor advantage there. Probably more than minor, to be honest. But overall, the going's been tough. We're outnumbered, which is not helpful. Generally, when you're attacking, you want at least 2-to-1 odds or 2-to-1 manpower, unless the enemy's quality is really low, which is not the case here. And yeah, so we're attacking, I think, about 2-to-1, but opposite. They have twice as many men as we have. Historically, what actually happened here was this corps commander, Forrester, he planned this attack for this day, a couple days back. Stonne, the city right here, the battle's named after. It's probably pronounced differently, and if you know how it's pronounced, let me know in the comments. But anyway, this city has been one that has been fought over multiple days. Actually, it might have been about a week that there was fighting going on here. And he finally prepared what he thought would be a decisive counterattack. Not a counterattack, just a decisive offensive to finally break through this area that the French have been holding so well. Well, it went wrong. One of his officers got lost on one of these roads and was captured by a French patrol. And what did this officer have? He had all of the battle plans that Forrester had drawn up, all of the divisional layouts. Specifically, there was supposed to be a large assault over here across this canal. So the French already the heck out of the men that were supposed to make those assaults. So at the beginning of the scenario, already you start out with a bunch of disrupted men as the attacker. And over those couple of days before the assault happened, they railed and brought in a bunch of reinforcements. So that is why we are attacking Frenchmen 2 times our number, and with tanks. And yeah, so I definitely can't all blame it on the scenario, though. My execution of my plan was pretty bad, I will say. I should have really consolidated my attacks instead of attacking him across a really broad front, which is what I did. I attacked him across this whole line, and a lot of this line, which resulted in my men taking a lot of casualties, his men being able to put a lot of crossfire on my guys, and I even had one battalion, which is one of these units, just one counter, luckily just one counter, got surrounded and annihilated right around here. Another 2 of my battalions were surrounded, but I was able to get them out before anything too bad happened to them. So overall, it's been a bit of a meat grinder so far. The losses are about even. We're giving as good as we get, but you can't really sustain that when they outnumber you so heavily. So the challenge is figuring out what will be the best objective to get to and hold with what I have. And that part's tough because we have Fog of War on. We can't see everything he has. And we can see he has a lot. And he should have received his reinforcements by now, if I remember right. So it's not like he really has any really big weak points in his line. Not that I know of. He might. You never know with these sort of things. But right now, it seems like maybe the weakest spots are either this objective, La BRL, but that's where most of his armor is concentrated, or this objective. It doesn't have a name. Right north of Psi, or C. But that is where his best division, these motorized guys, are located, and they've got a lot of armor here as well. He had his B1s over here originally, but I think he's moved them all into the center, which honestly probably means he thinks that area is the most threatened right now. So my initial plan was to go for this one. He brought in a jack ton of reinforcements, and now we're stalled out in these woods. But we've taken most of his trench line at least. But you can see he's already created new trenches. Not fun. So what to do now? We're on the dusk turn. So this is the last turn before night rules go into effect. This replay message thing will turn on. So what I need to do is get my men situated. And first, I guess, is the question, do I want to push them during the night? And let's think through that. So assaulting at nighttime is extra costly for the attacker. If you lose, I think you take double the amount of casualties. Well, you take double the amount of casualties anyway, no matter what, if you assault at night, whether you win or lose. So it's very costly, and we're pretty low on manpower right now. It's also very, well, that's the main thing. It's very costly, and we don't have the men to spend like that. But the longer we wait, the more he's just going to dig in with his engineers and make it impossible for me to take these objectives, which you can see, again, he's doing. Oh my goodness, this stupid thing. There we go. So you can see, we saw he had 2 units here earlier. And then dusk happened, and now we can see less. I'm sure he's dug in there. He had some improved positions. Let's take a look at all of his special positions. If I can. I forget which. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so look at that. He's created more improved positions over there. Created one right here. One right here. I know I've seen his engineers working down there. Let's take a look at the situation. We only had 5 of our units undisrupted, which isn't very good. What's the weather? We can see 2 kilometers now. Normal conditions. So the question is, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Let's take a look at his units first, because we can still see which of his units are low on manpower. If they've got 2 X's, that means they're under 100 men. So these guys are under 100 men. Probably push into that hex. These guys are under 100 men. There's a small chance that that's just a company, though. Unless it's really a enemy unit that has been taking damage left and right. Now let's check over here. There's been pretty heavy fighting over here, so I know there's going to be some. Yeah, so both of these units, engineers and these guys, under 100 men. Both probably got like 80 or 70 in them. He's got a bunch of armor over here. Both of those guys are pretty weak, but if he takes that, then those guys are isolated. Ooh, there's some B1s. And then, yeah, I've seen him move guys away. This area has become secondary. Neither of us care about those units. So, with that in mind, all of those units are really damaged. So are like all of his units over here. Wow. That's crazy. Go for those guys, maybe? Cut them off? It's too bad none of my guys can get in there. Why not? elevation here is like higher and everything. I guess they can get in there. Now I can get in there, now that it's open. Do I go for it since it's the night turn? It's debatable. Oh, they're both so low though. I'm gonna go for it. Nice. Jeez, they're literally surrounded. All right. I sure hope those guys aren't disrupted again. Or aren't eliminated. Oh god, what if that happens? Can you imagine? Ugh. I think he's probably gonna try that too. Let's see if my artillery can hit that guy. Nice. Should I go for that hex too, maybe? Maybe this hex. That's a field right there. Maybe we just go for this hex. Try to break some of those units and push right here. So knowing that this dialogue is taking a while to open, I'll have to check why. Maybe it's got something to do with I can't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, that's funny. Alright, let's just keep attacking. So, are they able to cross that river? Yeah, let's get these guys there. Okay, yeah, you can't assault there. there? Why can't he move there? Field. Oh, it's because road limits are full, maybe. Hmm. I just fucked that up. I think I did. I was trying to clear this area so one of these guys could get in. But I don't think I can. I think this road is just so small, only one unit can fit across it at the same time. Jeez, no. All that hard work is going away in an instant. Oh yeah, now they can get there. Stupid. Yeah, he's just gonna assault me with everything he has. Like, is this worth... I really don't believe in and of just pressing X and stopping on these types of things, you know? It's like in chess, if you move a piece somewhere and then realize after when your opponent takes it, you can't just be like, oh sorry, can I redo that? I don't think that's fair. That's why I'm not just canceling it. But yeah, I don't know how whether James is doing that or not. I'd like to think he's not, but you never know. Let's see here. All right. we go. There, reset them up so they can just hit those guys over and over again. Yeah, one thing I don't know is why don't we have any air support? Because historically the Germans had, like their air superiority is one of the reasons they did so well in this war. So I don't know why they don't have air superiority here. Nice. Let's bring these guys up. Should have done that a little bit ago, honestly. All right. I wonder if those guys will be able to do anything to them. Oh, we did do something to them. Damn. Is that what this heavy artillery is good for? Have I been using it wrong this whole time? Yeah, there's another one. Nice. That's awesome. All right, last one. Wonder what that is. that's the end of our artillery. Let's scoot this guy up. Maybe to like right here. Or right here. Yeah. Where's the last one? This guy. Scoot him up to right here, maybe. Nice. All right. That's good there. Is there anything else I want to do? For shooting, I guess. Oh. Well, that's not helpful. Do I want these guys to shoot, or what do I want them to do? What if I salted here? No, that wouldn't work. Jeez. Oh, we finally disrupted those guys. Maybe we'll get a kill then. Nope. Nope. Oh, those guys are super low. It's good to know. Oh, that sucks. with these guys. That was really badly timed. Nice. 1 man to 1 man in 1 vehicle. Oof, yeah. Look, they got their whole reserve back there. Uh-oh. Well, now they're all disrupted. I do have to admit, the firepower the Germans can put out from their infantry units is really good. I think it's more than what the French can do. Jeez. The French just have so much of it. Still have 3. I think that's everything. No effect. Yeah, we're going to do that. All right. That will be everything. Let's take a look at victory. Still a major defeat. If we get past 200, we get a minor defeat. If we get past 400, we get a minor victory. Really, so we only really need to capture 1. If we can. If we get past a 600, then we get a major victory. I think that's how it works. Anyway, that was fun. So let's go ahead and send it to our opponent. There we go. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been about 45 minutes. I really do think it's possible for us to get at least one of these, but it's going to be difficult. We're definitely not getting this one anytime soon. He's got a whole nother division hanging around over here. I think our biggest potential is either this one or this one. So we're so close to this one already, and I guess we're technically the same amount of hexes, but I have a feeling we're gonna lose this in a second. But anyway, everyone, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.